Hey guys, nice seeing you again. I am Lorenzo and thank you for joining me again in my channel. First of all, I wanted to thank you guys for how well the last video did. I'm happy that it reached more people. And you know what? I feel a bit sorry. I feel like I bashed on some of you guys a little bit too much. So today, in order to prove that, you know, I am at least a bit knowledgeful about the United States, I am gonna take these lovely quits that I found on this website, Wanderlust Magazine, and yeah, we are gonna see how well I do with these 25 questions before I can judge you any further. So yeah, let's start. The premise is very simple. How well do you know the USA states? Think you know everything about the USA? Nah, not really, but I know a little bit. Well, test your knowledge to the max with this fun and times tough quiz. We could ask you to name all 50 states, but many of us will have played that game before. I did, and I was stuck at 42. Instead, we thought we'd dig a little deeper to see how much you really know about the USA different states. Okay, so let's move on. Only one US state begins with the letter D. Name that state. This is a simpler one because Delaware is the only state out of these 4 options. Each of the 50 states has its own capital. So this is something that I only realized later on. The capital is almost never the most known city, like the fact that the capital of California is neither Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego, but it's rather No, Oakley. Oakley. I think it's Oakley. Is it? Yeah, I'm gonna go with my guts, and if anything, my self editor will cut that out. So yeah, in fact, I have no clue what Helena is. It's the name of a girl, as far as I know. So it's the name of a girl from Missouri? Nah, it was Montana. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do better next. This is a simpler one. Come on. 2 regions are split into 4 states, North and South. Can you name those states? Yeah. Of course, is this one, the Carolinas and the Dakotas. Is Alaska technically one of the 50 US states? Yes, it is. And wow, this is a really smart play. I hope no one presses on this button. And yeah, it is. It was bought, right? And I read something funny, interesting about this one. The Russian owned this place, as you know. They used to go ferret hunting for the furs, and once they basically almost brought the ferret population to the brink of extinction, they thought, you know what, we can sell this place now, and that's when the United States bought it because they knew that they could look for some gas or some, you know, natural resource, some more developed natural resources inside of Alaska. So yes, long story short, yes. So let's dive straight to the 5th question. How many states begin with letter M? So guys, this I already know I'm not gonna do too well, but I hope I'm not the only one. So yeah, we're gonna count them and I'll see how far I can go. So we got Montana, Mississippi, Missouri, Michigan, Massachusetts. Man, I got no clue. I feel like 6 could be a correct answer, but I'm sure I'm hurting someone. It's just I. Oh yeah, we got Maine as a 6th, so theoretically 6, and I feel like I'm forgetting at least one. So you know what? Out of guts, we think that 6 not enough. We're gonna go with 8, and it was the correct answer. So that's great. Next one is Hawaii, technically one of the USA's 50 states. I think it is. I think it's, yeah, I don't think it's just a Caribbean island. I'm pretty sure it's a USA state. So, yeah, okay, that was correct. And how many of the USA's 50 states are islands? Oh, well, I guess it's only Hawaii because Rhode Island, it's not an island. That's one of the silly things that you guys do. So we're gonna go with one and hope for the best. Okay, it was the correct one. So, which of the 50 states is the biggest by size? You know, there is only two contenders for me, and it's either Alaska or Texas. And if you look at the map, 999 times out of 1,000, you're gonna say it's Alaska. But you know, guys, maybe the projection of the map kinda screws things up. Also, I root for Texas since I'm gonna be there in August, so hey, sorry, November. So we're gonna go with Texas. And it was wrong. But you know, we we went with our guts. That's what matters. That's what makes you a true American, in my opinion. Which of the 50 states is the largest by population? Oh, well, my cursor is already on the right one because, I mean, California is like the eighth biggest economy in the world, so I guess there is a bunch of them, and it is correct. And in which US state will you find the Grand Canyon? So I am not sure. I'm gonna take a bet and say that the cursor is right once again because I know that it's not Maine and I am 99% sure that's not Nevada. I am split between these two because I know that in Utah there are a lot of deserts, valleys, parks, but if that's true for Utah, it's even more true for Arizona, so we're gonna go with Arizona. And it is correct. Okay. There are two Everglades in the entire world. One resides in the USA. In which state can you find it? Well, I didn't even know there was another one. I only was aware of the one in Florida. So, yeah, let's go with Florida. How many states border its North American neighbor Canada? This is a complicated one. So, I know we got Washington and North Dakota and maybe Wisconsin and then New York and I guess Massachusetts, and for sure we're forgetting about some of them, but I don't think too many. So maybe nine is the correct answer. Oh gosh, it was 13, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, you know what? Let's move on. Meanwhile, only four US states border Mexico. Do you know which of these states isn't on that border? So, California is, yeah, on the border as much as Texas, I'm sure of this. I'm kinda gaslighting myself into thinking that New Mexico is actually landlocked. Like, nah, but yeah, you wouldn't call it New Mexico if it wouldn't border with Mexico, right? Or would you? Again, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that Mississippi doesn't border, okay, with Mexico. So let's move on. In which US state would you find the famous presidents carved into the cliffs attraction Mount Rushmore? So Mount Rushmore, I know it's one of the two Dakotas. I hope I don't mess up too much, so I'm sorry to my Dakotan friends in in advance, but I'm pretty sure it's in South Dakota. So, okay, okay, I wasn't too wrong. Is Puerto Rico one of the USA's 50 states? No, but I'm pretty sure it's a US territory. So, okay, yeah, it was. Oh, this is a funny design. Each state has its own flag, but one state has gone rogue with a non rectangular flag. Which state is it? So, first of all, Ohio, they're the biggest, like, rascals. They're the ones that could do something like this. But They are so much the possible correct answer that I feel like I want to give a try to the others as well. But Nebraska, I don't know much about Nebraska. I don't know too much about Iowa as well. I do know that in Wisconsin they wear cheese hats at their sport games. So maybe they're the one with a unique flag. I don't know. Oh, no. It was Ohio. So, yeah, guys, Ohio is one of those places that I really want to check out because even though people, Ohio is used by kids to say that something is not cool, so maybe I was internally, uh, I don't know, internally I felt like maybe it was not an interesting place to visit. But in the last year with my job, uh, I used to be a driver and then I used to work in a restaurant, all very focused towards Americans. That's why I know so much about the United States. In both occasions, I had the chance of meeting some people from Ohio, and I hope they're watching this video because you were all amazing people. I'm talking about. Nah, you know what? I won't make any name. If you're watching, I hope you know I'm talking about you. So Ohio feels like an amazing place. I would love to check. But enough time to talk about Ohio. Let's move on to the next question, which is every state has a two-letter abbreviation for ease of writing. Which state is abbreviated as CO? This is an easy one for me, guys, because as I told you, I used to work in this restaurant winery, so we ship most of our products internationally, and a lot of the shipping was in the United States. So CO is Colorado. I'm 100% sure. Mostly because this one is CA and this one is CT. Which of these states does not share its name with a county? Georgia? Yeah, Georgia does. New Mexico? I mean, duh. New Jersey. So, Jersey, I don't know if you guys know, I didn't even know this before I met some people from that place, again, because of my previous job. And yeah, Jersey is basically a British island that's in the Manica, the I don't know how you guys call it, the channel that, not the channel, I guess the channel is what links England and French. I'm talking about the piece of sea that divides them. And in the middle of that piece of sea, there is this island called Jersey. And it seems like it's a nice place. It's almost like a place for older, upper class English folks to go retire on a peaceful island. So, yeah, seems like a cool place to check. Eventually, I would love to go there and maybe take a. Yeah, I was thinking I would love to make some videos in both Jersey and New Jersey and compare them. But, only God knows what's coming next for me. So, let's move on to the next. Well, let's give an answer to this question. New Jersey is not the name of a county. On to the next question. Boston is one of the best loved cities in the USA. But do you know which state is in? Yeah, I do know, but that's only because of our record holding world champion John Cena, which is from Boston, Massachusetts. And I don't know if you have the same guilty pleasures as me, but in wrestling they announce where the contenders are. That's why I heard Boston, Massachusetts so many times. Thank you, John. Salt Lake City is the capital of which US states? I am not sure about this one, guys. I'm gonna be very honest with you. But the mountains in the background already tell me that we are not in Nevada or Michigan. So I guess it's either Colorado or Utah. And if I go by my guts, I'm pretty sure that it's Utah we're talking about. So, okay, that was the correct one. And Meet Me in St. Louis is a classic 1944 film. To fulfill the title, which state would you need to visit? Missouri, Minnesota, North Dakota. No, St. Louis is not a state. So, St. Louis. I don't know, guys. St. Louis. I, I'm, I'm, I'm just messing with you guys. I know damn well that St. Louis is in Missouri. Because you know who is from St. Louis, Missouri? Randy Orton. But yeah, enough with the wrestling. So we know that the correct answer is Missouri, and also Wanderlust magazine knows. And Memphis is famed as the heart and soul of blues and rock and roll. But wait, which state is it in? Guys, I don't know if the trend is gotten boring for you, but we're not gonna stop because Jerry the King Lawler, famous WWE commentator, was from Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm pretty sure that from Memphis, Tennessee are also Elvis Presley and maybe Dolly Parton, but forgive me if I'm wrong. And next question, in which US state will you find the city of Boise? 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 Anyway, the name kinda reminds me of Des Moines, which I think it's in Iowa, but also Illinois kinda sounds like boys. You know, we're gonna go with Iowa. And it was Idaho. Okay, sorry guys. Is Washington DC technically one of the 50 states? I know it's its own thing, like it's not Maryland and it's not Virginia. Is it a state or is it, oh, a stateless district? That makes sense to me, so we're gonna go with this one. And finally, which state was home to the first official capital of the USA once the Constitution was ratified? So I am not sure about this one, but if there is one thing that I know is that Philadelphia was kind of one of the most important cities in the history of how the United States of America came to be. So we are gonna go with Pennsylvania and hope for the best. So Pennsylvania was not the right answer, but we did alright, guys. 19 out of 25. That means that we are somewhat in the right to make fun of some Americans here and there. Thank you guys for sticking out with me. Thank you for watching this video to the end. And if you didn't, now it will be the perfect time to like, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't ever lose one of my next videos. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.